education in like an actual university, college, school setting is becoming more and more useless. How does he go from being the teacher that gets paid 30 grand to the teacher that gets paid 100 grand? Through his need to make more money, to be successful, to have the car, to have the women, to like fucking learn it. This little guy with like no neck, sorry, but it's true, has all of this money, but he's completely unable to like attract a woman. Hello peeps. Just thought I was actually looking pretty sexy today, so I thought I would get the camera out. But I just wanted to speak. But I've now got to figure out what it is that I actually want to say, because I don't really know. My hair is annoying me. That is tasty. So one of the issues that I've found with doing my personal training course is, so today we've been writing a session plan for somebody else, and the fact is we get given a sheet and it's broken down into sections as to how we're gonna structure the workout for the client, and it's structured in a way that I disagree with, because I already have gained a lot of the knowledge that's been delivered on the course without actually having to go on the course. A lot of everything that I know about fitness and whatnot is the same information that I'm learning now, that I'm being taught in an educational setting. But I learned that information from YouTube, from YouTubers, and just online, because it's already out there, right? So I guess one point that I was going to make there is the fact that many people don't use that to their benefit, which a lot of people definitely could. A lot of the things that you probably want to know about a subject are out there if you actually like look for it. But I feel like that's not common practice for a lot of people. Like it's not a typical thing for people to do, to actually seek out information, to actually have like questions first and to seek out information. It seems like most of us just get pushed in some direction by an outside influence, and then we just go along with it because that's what everyone else is doing, and that's just not good. And why is it not good? Not because I don't think it's good and that you should listen to what I say, but because I think that to find what we're good at as individuals, and to actually gain the most success out of life in terms of an enjoyment aspect, but also in terms of what we can provide the most value in, that is dependent on our ability to think for ourselves and to question what is it that actually interests us, because we're always going to get the biggest success out of whatever we have the most interest in. Now, I understand that there are exceptions to that. There are definitely cases where people enjoy something more than what they can achieve with it, and that's something I've noticed with me personally with bodybuilding. I know that I'm not genetically suited to it, but I've put the effort in, and I've come to that conclusion through rational questioning, not through an emotional state of I can't do it. It's just like I know that I can't do it from like a physical, and so it's not the best thing for me, you know. Now, I guess some of the objections to that, or arguments against that, would be that I can get a bigger success out of something that maybe interests me less. But then that comes down to, what is your definition of success? Because my definition of success is, I guess it's what has the biggest impact on the people that I'm using this to help. So now that is a very good boy answer, but I want to look at this from a rational perspective. Now, I find that to be a rational perspective because I think that your ability to contribute to a community, aka society, is your biggest feedback in terms of feeling successful. Because I think that fundamentally your purpose as a human being, or what gives you the greatest sense of belonging, because that is what human beings want essentially, is to feel like we're useful to somebody else. I think you get that feeling from actually being useful to somebody else, and I feel like a lot of people aren't pursuing that. A lot of people are pursuing whatever gives the biggest pay. When you do pursue the things that have the biggest impact, and how you can feel that you can help another person, I think that your ability to make money from that is implicit. Like, I don't know if that's the right word, is part and parcel, because that is what business is, right? Like, that's what it's founded on. It's being able to help somebody else do their job, whatever their job may be, in the workforce, or like labor, or just doing a job, anything, literally. I think that if you focus on the way that you as an individual can provide the biggest help to just one other person, I think that's where the monetary success sprouts from. But it's not the purpose of what you're doing. The purpose of what you're doing is just to help the person closest to you, isn't it? It starts within the family, the first people that you built relationships with, and then it expands outwards from there, doesn't it? Sorry, I'm imparting on you. That's what I think. So I think that even in business and stuff like that, and just general career, it starts with sorting your family shit out and sorting your friendships out, and then I think the work comes from that. I feel like we separate things. We try and separate work from life and talk about like work-life balance, but I think that your work is your life and your life is your work, or that's what we should aim for, because when we do aim for that, it has to come from a place of giving our biggest impact to other people, or using what we have as an individual to its greatest capacity. Maybe I'm forcing this topic a bit, but there's definitely some thoughts in there that I think are important. But I'm still going to upload this because there's still stuff in it that I think people would want to hear. So maybe we'll just leave it there for now. Or maybe I'll just chill the fuck out a little bit, and then we can just be normal. I'm still learning about this YouTube stuff, and I guess I want to take you along for that as well, because I think this is I think that is part of what I'm trying to say, is that I think that every job that we do, or everything that we gain something from, whether it be like money or satisfaction, is dependent on our ability to teach. But when we look at our ability to teach, there's a lot more to it than what I think a lot of people give the teacher as a role. So if we think of the teacher as a job, there's a interpersonal aspect to it that I think we miss, and we try and treat it as a job, which makes it like work. So we're trying to teach something to people, and we're treating teaching as work. We're treating the other person as work. Now, do you think that's the best way to get them to take on board the information that you're giving them? And I guess that links in with this YouTube thing and what I'm trying to do. So let's use teaching as an example. How do you think that the low-level teacher on, say, I don't know what a teacher earns, like 30 grand, say. So say the teacher down here who's earning 30 grand, how does he get to the point where he earns more money, where he gets to a teacher somewhere getting paid 100 grand? So we'll use that as an example. How does he go from being the teacher that gets paid 30 grand to the teacher that gets paid 100 grand? Is it through his need to make more money, to be successful, to have the car, to have the women, is it those things that get him there as a teacher? Or is it the fact that those things are secondary to him? Is it that he focuses on his individual relationship with each person that he teaches, and say he's teaching to a whole like crowd of people, or he's teaching to a large audience, right? Even in that case, I think that it's his ability to realize that he is speaking to a group of individuals, and that he becomes a better teacher because of that. And then he rises, and he gets the things, he gets the monetary things in the end, but not because he made that his goal, but because he focused on his ability to teach. And we have to get into what is teaching we all have to do it, or we always have to teach in whatever profession you've chosen. You're going to have to teach, and even if you're the one learning, you're still involved in the teaching process because you're the student and not the teacher. But as soon as you've learned what the teacher's telling you, you'll become the teacher to the next student. So you have to get your head around that process, because it's not just a case of here's the information that you need to know, take it. Like, you can't just like fucking learn it. You can't. That's how so many people are trying to do it, I think. And that's their problem. That's their problem. Because it's not effective. So they're not going to be able to become better as a teacher. They're not going to be able to rise in society in any way, in any useful way. And they're not going to feel good about it. I mean, they may make monetary success in their job just from... What I'm saying is that you're not going to win all across the board by aiming for the shit. that everyone cares about by aiming for the monetary stuff. Like, now I'm not saying that you can make the most money out of being the most useful person, but what I am saying is that you can make enough money by being the most useful person and be happy as well. I don't like the word happy. And be satisfied with your existence and actually feel like you have a fucking right to be here and be a confident motherfucker, basically, is what I'm saying. Because I think there's a lot of people that do have the money and they're not really pursuing, they're not really trying to be like useful in any way. They're just trying to get the money, and it shows in their interaction with other people. Example would be, I don't know if you've watched the dating show, but some dating show, I don't know what it is, but there's a guy called Big Ed. He's basically this little guy with like no neck. Sorry, but it's true. He has all of this money, but he's completely unable to find a woman, or to like attract a woman from her own desire. He has to force his way in because he's gone about life in the wrong way, or he's gone about it in a way that I think is backwards, and he's put money first over being useful and trying to actually impact the world or just impact other people in a good way. And because of that, he lacks a sense of self-worth, because ultimately our self-worth and our ability to feel like grounded and like we actually have a right to be here, we feel that because we provide something useful to a community, and a community can just be two people, but it's through the knowledge that you're useful, that you have that self-worth, and that you're confident. And I think that comes before the money. Even a case that you pursue that before the money, it's just the money is a secondary thing. So I don't know, that's just my view on it.